Today we're making a video about weed control in our organic vineyard. And as you can see, we've got a serious weed problem. Well, some of them didn't get the memo. Unfortunately, organics don't stay perfect for long. We have to do something to keep these organics weed-free without any form of weed spray. So this is what we use. The duckfooter. I guess you could call this the feet and this technically the wings. Basically this digs underneath the ground next to the grapevine and this kicks the weeds over. This row was duck-footed the other day and this row wasn't. And it's wet because Dad watered. And so I have to wait for this to dry out before I can come back and do every other row. But this wasn't. And that was. There are some problems with the duckfooter and with the New Holland tractor that we've been using. We will get into that.
All right, so filters finally came in for the tractor. I'm changing this tractor has 800 hours. This is the one we got at the auction. 110 horsepower in this thing, by the way. So let's get to changing that. So we're gonna change engine oil and hydraulic oil, and I already went through this, checked the coolant and all that good stuff, filters, and already went through it. I just got to change these filters. We did run it a little while with the mower without changing them. I mean, it's no big deal, but I did want to get new oil in here, our oil, so we know what's going on. Yeah, so I don't just trust any oil that they put in this tractor, so that's why we're changing it out. See how black this is? The diesel turns the oil black within like minutes of running. It's all the soot and stuff. Alright, another rock. Grab the 2 red filters out of the back of the truck.
I don't think your mics are on.
I'm telling you, not them.
Neat. Which way's up?
but they're not on. That's not a clean spot. So,
Why is the
clean that
tractor?
out.
Oh, is this the new tractor? Oh, this is Duke? I was like, why does it smell like other people?
Go get the cute orange pipe wrench. I need that. It's garbage.
What?
Garbage.
Well, it's like cute and nubby. I feel like we should save it.
Okay. Either hold the filter or pour the diesel into the filter. No, that's easier.
Let's do it in the dirt. Okay, so I'm on top of the tractor we got at the auction, and it didn't come with a roof, so Dad had one made, and this is what it looks like. It's like... Okay, so I am now renovating in the conventionals, juice grapes, and this is what it looks like. And the reason we're renovating here is because it's like super bumpy driving through, and so the rotavator smooths all those bumps out, and yeah, the grape replacements. Absolutely lovely day today. The sky is skying. The dirt is dirting. The rotavator is rotavating. Motivatoring. I see a roadblock up yonder. Do you want to help me move it? I mean, I could just like push it with the tractor, but then what if it like breaks the bin? This is a pretty broken bin. Don't just stand there and watch. Get out and help me. So let's just put it in this row, so when I come down this row, I have to get out and move back to that row. Holy Toledos. Holy cow. Come here and look. It's absolutely crazy. That looks fake. Looks like we perfectly placed those clouds there, which we don't do AI, unlike some people.
So I'm pounding, fixing some end post here, because as you can see, it's like the biggest bee flying around me. Once the wood post rots out, holy cow, you gotta come through and replace end post because, well, we need to, because otherwise that's gonna happen. So we're replacing them with metal, because it goes faster and they don't rot out. And preferably have it a little bit more leaning, but the wood post was right there, so I kind of took it and straightened it out. But the tape is so the cable doesn't fray when we cut it. Otherwise, that's a mess. Just kind of hold the fiber things together. So this is the anchor. This is what anchors the post and holds it from just going like this. The bad thing about row crop farming, as in apples, grapes, pears, cherries, a lot of the cherries are freestanding, but no trellis, but you get the gist. Raspberries, blueberries. I guess some of those are freestanding too, aren't they? I don't know. Bad thing about row crop farming is that they need trellis to stay up, as you can see. Should have done is cut that wire back further. But then I would have been in the vine and I wouldn't have been able to, I forgot the wire cutters, dang it. So I'm just gonna use the cable cutters. I save all these little pieces because they come in handy just for a spot like that. Add a little bit of wire. That's plenty tight. Anyways, that's about it. I just gotta do that exact thing way too many times. Way too many more times. And then we'll have all good anchors. So yeah, see how this cable is tight now? Once I tighten this wire, it kind of moves the post up, and now this cable stops it from going that way. Because once this wire is tight, there's a lot of pressure on this post going that way. So that's about it for me. So yeah, signing off.
All right, so this I duck footed the other day, and this row I didn't. I did every other row, and so this is what it looks like before. right, I literally almost went home without showing you guys the row after, so this is after. See this weed? Got that weed. So you still see weeds obviously, but they're all uprooted. See? So these will die. And then, so yeah, all these weeds that you see, they will die. Because the duckfooter has been working really well lately. So yeah, this is after I think I was back more. After. Alright. See you later. Alright, I literally shut off the camera 2 minutes ago. And when I was telling you guys bye, I felt my phone buzzing. It was Dad. And he said that one of the neighbors called him to say that there was a pop-off. And so Brunette sis was like, well, we can record. So this is copyright, you know.
Music, go.
Can you say it? It was a whole pipe blew off from the bottom. I did. Bye. My gosh, I forgot I had the mic on me. I literally forgot. I was like, what is she saying or whatever? And I'm supposed to our mother now. All right, now bye. What did I say? See you later. See you later.
Hello everybody. Good morning, good night, or good afternoon to you. So, we got this tractor back. Right, anyway, so here I'm cultivating. Let's cut to the chase. Here I'm cultivating because we rotivated, or Brunette sis rotivated, and to chew all that stuff up. And now that the grass is starting to come in, she came through and duck-footed this. So the grass is starting to get, you know, like that tall. So that's why we're taking it out now. It's starting to grow back from the rotivating. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks since we rotivated this. So yeah, we're cultivating. I replaced all the sweeps on this recently, and yeah, so this tractor, this is the beast. We just got it back today. We just got this tractor back today, and it was, so we took it in because it stopped moving, as you can see in this video, where we had to pull it out of the spot that it was sitting.
The tractor, the beast, would stop moving. It would literally just stop. It would blink CP like a bunch of times and just wouldn't move.
So it stopped moving, wouldn't move at all. It had nothing at all, like no power. I mean, it started, it ran just fine, it just wouldn't move. So we had to pull it out. So then we took it in, and they were going to replace the cab mounts too, because every time you'd go, it was all like bumpy. Well, not, of course it's bumpy, but it'd make a sound because you're basically going engine to the cab. No, the cab mounts were shot. like I was saying, it was basically the engine coming straight through the cab, as you're feeling all the vibrations and stuff from the engine. So they replaced the cab mounts. They had to pull the cab for that, of course. So we finally got it back. But before that, they did find a hydraulic leak that I know wasn't there before, but I don't know. So there was a hydraulic leak, and they fixed that, and now I've used it all day, and so far it's been good. So I don't know, we're at a loss, because we're gonna need, we've been having a ton of problems with New Holland lately. Just, they're always in there. So, I don't know. I'm starting to second guess about New Holland, and I was looking at watching some YouTube videos on the John Deere's, the 5EN series. They seem pretty dang good. But we're gonna need a new duckfoot tractor, because that thing was a lemon from the start. And now it's squeezed its last lemon, and so yeah. We're gonna need a new duckfoot tractor, and we know Fendt is really good, but really, really expensive. So I don't know. I mean, we're at a crossroad here. We don't know. I think we want to try John Deere, but I mean, let us know. If you have any of like the newer John Deeres, let us know how it works, because we need to know. We need to get one here soon, like pronto. But if you have a newer John Deere, we're looking for an open cab, because that's what she wants. Keep her hair blonde-ish. We're looking for an open cab, 4-wheel drive, John Deere. I'm guessing John Deere. We need to know if we should get maybe another New Holland, which I don't know about that, because they're just always broken down. I mean, our brand new tractor we got, it was a New Holland T4 110F, just like this. 500-ish hours, and we already had problems with the AC. I can say one thing about New Holland that I know for a fact, is their AC systems are horrible. Now she needs the camera, so. Anyways, as she comes to get the camera, comment now what you think brand of tractor we should buy. Kubota, John Deere, New Holland, Fendt, or what? Bye.
Alright, it's windy today, and hopefully it's not too windy to record. Alright, so I'm in the organics right now. And so the duckfooter is the main implement that we use to keep the weeds out of the organics. And then basically whatever the duckfooter doesn't get, then we come through and hand pull. So this actually is the first year since we've had organics that we have not had to send in a work crew. Usually that's what we do. We duckfoot, and then whatever the duckfooter didn't get, then we would send in a work crew to hand pull the weeds. This year it is the second week of June, and we have not had to send in any work crews. We have not had to do that at all this year. I've been duckfooting since mid-March, and so one of the times I was duckfooting, the weeds were like starting to get like pretty weedy, and so I was going down the row, and so there's a duckfooter on each side, and I was telling Dad, because the blue wings of the duckfooter, they dig under the ground too, and so like right here, it gets the blue, like little weeds like this, the blue things will get that. And I was telling Dad, if the blue things on the duckfooter could be like 2 inches longer, then it'd be like perfect. But but that's as long as the blue things will go. And so one time I was duck footing and I was just like, I noticed myself, I was like focusing all my attention on like one side of the duck footer, and it was like doing a really good job. This was at a point where the weeds were like starting to get weedy, and if I wasn't like figuring out something, we were gonna have to send workers through. And so I was like, I focused my attention on like one side of the duck footer and like scooted closer a little bit to that side of the row, and then turned around and went up that same row and focused it on the other side. And that worked really well. It took me double the time, but that's what I did on all of the organics. It was doing like a mediocre job going down the middle at that point because the weeds were kind of starting to get a lot. And so it worked best doing it that way, and that got a lot of the weeds out. So I was pretty pleased with that. And then, let's see. And so Dad was asking me, he was like, because I'm the one who does all the duck footing, and Dad would ask me like, do I need to send workers through to hand pull? Like usually it was like May, and then in like July, it'd be like 2 times we'd send a work crew through during the growing season. And I was like, he was like, by now we'd already have workers sent through there. And I was like, there's not really that many weeds, like to send however many workers to walk through the rows and get randomly a big weed here and there. I was telling him we don't need to send the workers through yet. And so we haven't still, because I kind of know where the bad spots are. And I was like, I can just drive through with the cycle and pull the big weeds that need pulled. I was like, we don't need to send a work crew through and pay them to pull weeds. So we haven't. And so, and Dad said this, that the vineyard is looking pretty good. So he said it's looking really good actually. And so what I've kind of been doing is I'll like duck foot, and then a spot that I know is kind of weedy, I'll just stop the duck footer, get off, take a break from the duck footer and sitting down, and just pull some weeds. So yeah, that's what's been going on. This is literally the first year ever that we have not had to send a work crew through. And so I'm pretty pleased with that, because usually by now we'd almost be sending them through the second time, and we haven't had them out here at all. There's suckers on some of these vines, and I can't just walk past them. We haven't had to send work crews through to sucker either. Brunette sis was telling Dad that we need to send a work crew through to sucker these vines, especially on the organics. And then she said that when she was rotivating. Oh yeah, we rotivated the middles of the grape rows, and then we're going to keep that up with the cultivator. And so when she was rotivating, she was telling Dad that he needs to send the workers through the sucker. And then I duck footed, and I was like, there's not that many suckers I have to send a work crew through to get a sucker here and there. So I was like, I can do that when I'm pulling weeds. So we haven't had to do that either. But the duck footer isn't all like perfect. It's not like a blade, but it's like a sharp, I don't know if you want to call it a blade or whatever. But it's not Dad's favorite implement, because it does cut some of the feeder roots, because it is digging right next to the vine, so it does cut some of the feeder roots. This year I've been like on top of the weeds. I haven't even given the weeds a chance to like get going. Like I was duck footing at one parcel the other day, and Brunette sis was like, what are you doing? It doesn't even need duck footed. And I was like, these weedlings, I have to get them when they're weedlings, otherwise they're going to continue to grow and they're going to be too big to the point that the duck footer's not going to go that good. I don't have to go, by the way, going up one side and then down the other side. It was just that one time. Now it's clean enough that just one time through is going good enough. But With the tractor that we have the duck footer hooked up to, it is a New Holland open cab. We have had that tractor for 4 to 5 years-ish, and I'm literally the only one that has put up with that tractor. Bro does not like that tractor at all. Dad, the other day when he was on it, he was like, I hate this tractor. And so let's see. Last year, 2 years ago, I'm gonna walk in the Cosmics now. You see the grapes behind. All right. So 2 years ago, this starter went out on the duck footer, the tractor, and we have a tractor designated for the duck footer because that's how much I'm duck footing and how much it needs done. And it's like all set up and this big thing. Anyway, 2 years ago, this starter went out, and so we did have the YouTube. Wow, 2024, the starter went out because Brunette Sis was trying to fix it, and then we were pulling weeds because the duck footer was out. Weird. Okay, so you guys do know this. The starter went out, and then after we got a new starter in, got it replaced, that starter, and then we were able to start duck footing again. That starter lasted a year. And so there's some electrical issue. It went out towards the end of 2025 season. I was telling Dad I only needed to duck foot a time or two more, so we didn't replace it last season. And we haven't replaced it still because it's $1,000 to replace the starter, and it's not like working. So Mom and Dad weren't going to put another $1,000 into it. Besides, so what we've been doing is pole starting it. Every single time I need a duck foot, then I need Bro or somebody there to pull me with another tractor. That's why we have the rope on the front of the duck footer, because every time I need to be pole started. So that's what we've been doing. And then on the shifter, like the 1, 2, 3, there's that 1, 2, 3, and then there's another 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the 1, 2, 3, it says it's in 2, but it's actually in 3, and you can't get it out of 3. Apparently that's a pain to fix too. So Dad said whatever you're doing with the duck footer, it's working because it's looking really good. He said that yesterday. And I'm in the Cosmics, by the way. But I do have to go duck foot. I'm gonna get Brunette Sis to show you guys the duck footer in slow-mo. Somebody has suggested slow-mo. We were like, that's a good idea. Hopefully you guys didn't get too wind thrashed. It's not cold wind, so it's not like too miserable. I was driving over here and I forgot to say that when I have the duck footer in neutral and then I push the brakes, the starter engages. And so I can't have it in neutral and push the brakes. The starter, that doesn't work, so that's weird. And so yeah, that's another thing that's wrong with it. So I think that's it. All right.
Blancis just picked me up. I was rotivating some more of the conventionals, and we're going to show you the duck footer in slow-mo. Well, now I'm waiting for her to get over here. strategy is taking an eternity to get over here. It's like 20-mile-an-hour wind gust today. But the clouds are clouding. It was raining yesterday. Part of the reason I think the vineyards looked pretty good this year is because of my rotating. Because, I mean, seriously, because, like, no, for real. I'm renovating the alley, so it's keeping the weeds away from blowing into the vine row. We grow some pretty weeds. Look at the butterfly. Dad! Gonna pop off! I've done my duty, now back to rotivating. I could be fudging rotivating. What are you doing? A little bit of that spray tube that nobody's seen.